All right, we're backing out now. I'm going to take my final exam for one of my classes in seminary. This, you know, I say this all the time, but I guess it's just kind of like the nature of what I do. This is a super hot button issue right now, like just probably in the world, but definitely in America. Extremely, extremely, extremely hot button currently. Every time I get on Facebook, every time I get on anywhere, or even like at work and stuff, everybody's always talking about this. We're talking about gun control. Gun control. Oh, it's okay, dude. Just walk out in the middle of the road. Yeah, no, that's sweet. Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, take your time. Just walk really slow too. That's great. I don't have anywhere to be. Appreciate it, bud. Thanks. So gun control. That's what we're talking about. That's what you guys have been asking me to talk about for a while. Honestly, it was one of those things where I was like, yeah, it's a lose-lose for me. Because no matter what I say, I lose. If I'm for, you know, controlling and making stricter enforcement around firearms, a lot of you guys hate me. If I'm for bearing arms, a lot of you guys hate me. But then I got to thinking this morning and I was like, you know, they do that anyways. Every video I do, you guys love and hate me. It just depends on who you are and what your stupid opinion is. So we're just gonna do it. I've got a 40-minute drive. God knows how long this is gonna take. So we're just gonna hit it. Let's talk about guns. So what's the first thing? The first thing that comes to mind, because it's probably the most popular topic within gun control, is you know, like mass shootings. There's been a huge incline in the amount and the severity of mass shootings within the past, you know, really like 20 years, but especially within the past, like I'd say five to 8 years. But real quick, we're gonna do all the normal crap. If you have any interest in helping me out financially, go to patreon.com/tattootheist. Next point, theologyforums.com. This is a forum I put up about 1.5 years ago, and it's been dead for a year, solid year. In the past couple months, hundreds of people have joined, and it's extremely active to the point where I'm gonna have to pay to upgrade the server that's on because it's taking too much traffic. So if you have any interest in that whatsoever, go check out theologyforums.com. You know, if you're into like deep theological arguments, and I wish I could say conversations, but that's not what they are, they're arguments. Social media, if you don't have me on all social media, you need to. It's Tattooed Theist everywhere. But I post different stuff everywhere. So if you only have me 1 or 2 places, you're missing out on something somewhere. So get that done. The next thing is I'm gonna move a little bit away from theological stuff. Not entirely, but I want to start putting out like different content. I'm getting sick of it, if I'm being honest with you. It's too gray. There's no black and white. So all I'm doing is giving people my opinion, and then all I'm getting thrown at me is black and white. And it's obnoxious because these topics aren't black and white. They're entirely gray. So I can't stand people getting in my face with black and white, like contradictions, and like getting up my ass with black and white about a topic that's absolutely gray. I'm like almost in my wit's end with it. So I need to pull back and kind of put a little bit of my time into something else. So I'm gonna start doing that. So if you guys have any ideas or suggestions of different type of content that I could put out, let me know and I will consider it. So like I said, mass shootings. Mass shootings are on the rise, obviously. And honestly, my opinion is that it's getting worse because because we care so much. These people are becoming famous when they do it. Think about, I could name like 3 or 4 people. Are you gonna go? It's cool, we're in traffic, you know what I mean? Like, we're sitting in traffic anyways, so just sit there and don't move at all. I could name like 3 or 4 people who have been the shooter in a mass shooting. And I don't even watch the news. I don't care about any of that stuff. I stay very uninvolved in like politics and any sort of media, if I'm being honest. Are you seriously going to stop and look at your phone again? So I guess what I'm saying is like, we kind of glamorize it, which is something that we do in like everything. Look at music, the way music is now, television, movies. We glamorize crime and like immoral stuff. It's what's interesting to us. It's what holds our attention. So are we really going to be surprised when kids who are having violence jammed down their throat in music, television, and media, are we really going to be surprised when they act violently? But these mass shootings, so we talk about the mass shootings, and then we talk about, well, what would prevent it? Taking guns away. If we just take all the guns away from everybody, it would prevent it. You know what would prevent drug use and drug addiction? To just take all the drugs away, make them illegal. Oh, they are illegal? Oh, drugs are already illegal. That's weird, because addiction rate is only getting worse every year. So riddle me that logically. Drugs are illegal. It is a felony to distribute, to traffic, as well as to use or even just possess drugs. It's all illegal. It's against the law. We have strict laws around drug use, drug distribution, and drug possession. Yet that does not deter anybody. Nobody was ever deterred like, oh, you know what, I've been shooting heroin for 5 years. Now all of a sudden heroin's illegal, so I guess I'll stop shooting heroin. No, not ever. Not ever. All it does is we make the value of drugs go way up, so criminals are getting way richer, and we make the populations of the prisons go way up. Because now people who should never set foot in a penitentiary are spending 6 months, a year, sometimes 2, and sometimes like 5 for drug crimes. So if drugs are illegal, yet addiction is out of control, trafficking, distribution, possession, arrest, all of these statistics are very high and very broad, from the littlest, smallest meth town to LA or Chicago. Making something illegal does not make it go away. Now, I gotta say that because a lot of people just don't think it through, and a lot of you will still argue with me like, no, they need to be illegal, it'll fix the problem. And honestly, with all the love in my heart that I could possibly muster up for somebody that illogically driven, you're ignorant. If you honestly think any laws will change anything, all it's gonna do is put a rise on black market guns. We're gonna see a rise in guns that have scratched off serials, or we're gonna see a rise in firearms that are made without serial numbers, that are not traceable. Because criminals are still going to get guns, just as much as before, but they're gonna get them from different people. Guns that are made without serial numbers or with fake serial numbers are imported into the US in like the tens of thousands. There's no shortage of them. Guess what? Guns without serial numbers and guns with scattered serial numbers or fake ones, they're illegal. They're absolutely against the law. They're everywhere. So your making guns illegal is going to fix absolutely nothing, because those guns are illegal and they are everywhere. When I was involved in the crap I was involved with as a kid, I saw a lot of them. There was no shortage of illegal firearms. There was also no shortage of legal firearms, but if I'm being honest, I saw way more illegal firearms within the criminal world than I ever saw legal firearms with like registration, and where the serial number like matched the registration and the dude actually like bought the gun from an approved dealer. I honestly I think I saw it like twice, and guess what? Those were guns that nobody ever used in crimes because they're gonna get screwed. They're way easier to trace. Anything about that you get busted with, it goes straight back to you. Legal guns that are registered to people are never used in crime, and if they are, they're used in crime by idiots, not by criminals that are even halfway intelligent. Now, I say all this, I do like firearms, but here's what makes me a little bit unbiased. Because of my felony convictions, I will never be able to own a firearm. Never. Not ever. So yeah, I love firearms, but I can never put my hands on one ever again. So it's not like I'm fighting to get what I want, okay? I can't have them. I just don't think firearms are the issue. I think people are the issue. And it goes back to that old cliche saying of guns don't kill people, people kill people. Just like obesity doesn't kill people. People eating like shit kill people. Just like in prison, little pieces of metal that have been shaven down into shanks don't kill people. The dude holding it that has the intention to hit you in the stomach 6 times with it, he kills people. The metal doesn't. Do you get what I'm saying? Drugs don't kill people. People who inject too much heroin into their arm kill people. It's not the objects that kill people, yo. It's not inanimate stuff that just randomly, oh, that gun just randomly killed 15 people. No, it's the fucking psychotic guy behind the gun that pulled the trigger 1,000 times and just massacred a school. He killed people. He did that. The gun didn't. And guess what? Guaranteed, that gun is not registered. And definitely not to him because he's a fucking kid. Okay, and there were some cases of kids taking like guns from their parents or whatever, right? But that's never the case in like any other sort of crime outside of kids. Outside of kids. But here's the funny part about that. The kids usually get it from a parent who has it legally. That's a legal firearm. That's not an illegal one. So he had it legally. His kid still got his hands on it and still massacred the school. So legal guns don't really help us either then, if you're using that logic. So no matter what, guns absolutely in general have to go away. But the reality is that that can't ever happen. That is a world that I honestly don't ever want to live in. So Joe, what about just making automatic weapons illegal? It's the same thing, man. Most of the automatic weapons that criminals have, you know, drug dealers, arms traffickers, all this stuff, they're not legal to begin with, yo. They're not registered. They don't have a serial number, and if they have one, it's fake. It's not actually a registered legal firearm. So make them illegal. It changes absolutely nothing, because most of the black market guns that are out there being used in crime are just that. They're black market. They're not from an accredited dealer or anything. They're already illegal. You can't make things go away by making them illegal. And I talked about that before. Guns are already illegal. Most of the guns that are used in crime are illegal guns. So the law did nothing. Drugs are illegal. It doesn't stop any junkie from shooting up. Rape is illegal. Child molestation is illegal. Guess what? It's astonishing how many people are raped and molested. Laws don't change shit, in my opinion, honestly, and sorry about the swearing, but I get frustrated. It doesn't change anything. Grow up. The world is sick, okay? If you're gonna try to like push toward change, then push towards a change that is realistic, not childish and ignorant. The legality of something is only becoming less important to our society as time goes on. That used to mean something, like many years ago. Like people actually kept the law and stuff. Not anymore. This is not a real thing anymore. Anybody who is a criminal, the law changes nothing. They're just more careful. And honestly, it just starts like animosity towards a lot of groups of people and like the police and stuff, which is a whole another topic, the whole thin blue line thing. It just grow up. Grow up. I don't like kids getting shot up either. I don't like dudes getting shot up when they're getting robbed by someone. I'm not a fan of any of it. Okay, I actually have a lot of traumatic shit that has to do with firearms. But I'm not a little kid. I'm not gonna pretend like making them illegal is gonna change anything at all, because I'm a grown-ass adult. And I understand the simplicity of this topic, and that that's the way it is. You can do as much as you want, but think of something else. Because the legality issue is the dumbest proposed solution that I've ever heard. It's a joke. It's idealistic at best. At absolute best. So this video is already 20 minutes without editing, and honestly I don't think I need to edit a whole lot. So we're gonna end that here. I covered all the major stuff. I absolutely gave you my opinion, which is what you guys want. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say, and at the same time I'm not interested at all, because I know I'm just gonna read the same crap over and over again. But I'm gonna read it because I have hope and faith that some of you guys will shock me, because every once in a while, that's not true, all the time, man, all the time, some of you guys will say something and I'm just like, damn, that was amazing. You are intelligent, and you people are honest to God. The only reason I still do this, for the handful of people every week or every 2 weeks that just shine and like astonish me. You are the only reason I'm still doing it. So I appreciate you. I love you. Go, move, move. Come on, man.